10, Welcome to the Business of Black Business, a weekly talk show that interviews Black entrepreneurs and advocates for Black businesses. Our topics include access to capital, best business practices, success stories, and more. Now introducing our host, Jay Reynolds.
Hello, business family. Do you have an idea for a service that you are convinced would be a game changer? A service that would basically revolutionize things, but you're not quite sure how to get that off the ground. Well, today we get to talk to someone who built a business that really capitalizes on something that we all need. I mean, the market is generally everybody, right? It's business, it's travel, it's old, it's young, it's everybody. I just can't wait to have a conversation with this young man. Anyway, hello, my name is Jay Reynolds. I own and operate Wolf Creek Consulting. We are a top-ranked executive staffing firm that specializes in professionals in finance, accounting, and IT. This is a business of Black business, and it's a show that's designed to help Black entrepreneurs and would-be business owners start and scale up a business. More than anything, it's a real unique opportunity to gain access to successful business owners and people and thought leaders and hear how they do it. I want you to be in the room. Anyway, today we get to talk to Carlton Chandler, owner of Luggage Shipping and We Go Travel Club. Carlton, thank you very much for being here. How are you?
Hello, Jay. Pleasure to be here, and I thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, as a golfer, we got a lot to talk about. So you and I have a lot to unpack, right?
I like that.
I really am very curious, and I want people to be able to understand what it is you do, because I think it's extremely unique. So, first of all, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and why. And I'm not talking about the bio stuff. I'm saying, where'd you grow up? Who are your mentors? What makes you you?
Well, my name is Carlton Chandler. I grew up on Long Island, New York. My mentors, I would definitely have to say, were my parents and my uncles. They made a huge impact in my life. As a matter of fact, I went on to write about it. I'm also an author.
Cool.
Yeah, my book's name is, if you don't allow me to...
Oh, please. Shameless plugs work here.
Allow me.
Shameless plug.
Excellent. The book's title is Allow Me to Introduce Myself Before I Say Goodbye. My background is strictly been pretty much retail and customer service. I've been in the shipping business now for about 32 years, so that's what I do. It's what I'm doing.
Well, let's talk about that. I really want to drill down to that so people can understand that evolution, right? How did you get involved in the business of shipping? How did you get involved in the purchasing of UPS stores and the other types of franchises that you're involved in? Because you have a laundry list of things that you're involved in. How did you get involved in that? Because that's not a normal thing for Black entrepreneurs.
Well, I would say roughly 32 years ago, my brother, Carlton Chandler, he contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in moving down to South Florida to operate a mailbox, etc. We opened the first location, which I'm proud to say that it was the fastest growing and number one store in the region, to opening up to 6 locations currently.
Wow.
So 32 years later, that's where we stand.
Okay. Walk us through kind of the evolution of your business. You know what I mean? You started, obviously you came in, you and your brother opened up one store went to 6 stores. Did you go through a franchise program? Tell people how, because that just didn't happen like that. I mean, you make that seem very easy, but it's a lot more complicated than that. Tell us, why don't you tell us a little bit about the evolution?
It was certainly a challenging adventure. It is a franchise. Mailbox, etc. Roughly 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, changed over to UPS store. But we purchased a franchise, really went hard and heavy into getting all the work done that was necessary to grow the business. Of course, based on the work that you do as well, staffing was number one issue is getting the top people in there to help us drive the business forward.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, absolutely. which we did very successfully.
Yeah.
I feel really good about everything that we've done with that type of business, with the UPS store, because we managed to open up at least 3 number one stores back to back to
Wow.
back. So a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice, a great deal went into it to get the businesses to where they are today.
I want to drill down to that. That segues into another really important question for us to hear, for other entrepreneurs to hear. Give us an example of things, the logistics that you had to overcome in order to get your businesses off the ground.
Logistics issues.
Yeah, logistics, whatever, just things that potentially could have derailed you.
Well, I would say because of what we do and we deal with very high value items in shipping, it's probably the key thing was getting the right staffing. It truly was getting the right people around us, the right support system involved. But yeah, having the right people around us to be able to build this thing out and have it move forward.
Got it. What about financing and all of the things that tend to trip people up, especially if you don't have a business background or you a rich uncle? How did any of those things play into it?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jay. For me, this has been a totally self-financed challenge. I mean,
I got the T-shirt, baby.
It's been bootstrap pulling up and moving it forward one step at a time, one day at a time. It's if you have access to a great deal of capital, that's one thing. Of course, I mean anybody can get out there and try whatever they choose to try. But in this case, I had to heartily agree with the concept of this business and what it would take to build it. So, yeah, I've been financing the business to this point myself.
Gotcha. Talk to me a little bit about, everybody's got horror stories about losing luggage or packages not arriving on time, or you have a presentation and your booth doesn't show up on time or whatever. How do you avoid those kinds of things? And what's baked into your model to separate you from everybody else?
Well, I would say, Jay, the key component is listening or understanding what your customer is needing at the time. That's key. If you have to have a package or a shipment delivered by a certain period of time, I'm going to ask you to step up and let's get this done sooner rather than later. Let's expedite the shipment if necessary. But I think those are the key components, making sure that the packaging that we've created in this case is very durable, very solid. And just as importantly, we also added a secondary tracking system to the bags themselves so that if the label for whatever reason became dislodged or damaged, you have a secondary component to be able to track the package and get it back on.
Like a GPS kind of technology or tag kind of technology?
It actually is a tag, and it's simply any of our new signups, any of our new members to eluggageshipping.com, they get their own assigned QR code. And that QR code is placed inside the bag, is placed on the outside of the bag, inside of a specific pocket. And of course, you have your regular tracking shipping ticket. So if anything, again, becomes dislodged, you have a couple of avenues to get the package right back on track to where it's supposed to be.
Right. That is actually really cool, which certainly separates you from the airline industry, right? Although Absolutely. The airline industry, I noticed, has started to place tags in multiple places, but that is certainly a leverageable point of difference for you guys because you're placing them in multiple locations just in case something gets dislodged or whatever.
It really makes sense.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No. It really makes sense, not just for shipping, but for storage. Once you sign up for our program, again, these QR codes are generated, and that one is yours for life. As long as you are part of the program, you can use the QR codes and place them on your storage items, whatever. Or if you're moving, put them on your moving items. So nothing will get separated or lost. That's the key.
Got it. Very cool. Now, what we're going to do right now, Carlton, is we're going to take a little bit of a break. And when we come back, let's talk about your marketplace. Let's talk about who you're marketing to, what looks like success for you in your eyes and the eyes of your partners. Okay. But right now we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds
Be right back.
Do you ever wonder how people survive their trips without dragging luggage through the airport? Now you can have a truly hands-free travel experience with eLuggageShipping.com. Never worry about overstuffing bags, fighting with overhead bins, paying baggage fees, or having luggage lost or stolen. eLuggage Shipping allows you to ship bags to your destination ahead of time with your carrier of choice. Download the app to start your free membership. Then, schedule to pre-ship your bags to any destination and back when returning home. Members gain access to our eLuggage shipping bags, which protect, insure, and speedily send your precious cargo wherever you go. Different sized bags accommodate suitcases, travel cubes, pillows, or larger awkward items you can't live without. Get 5-day economy or overnight shipping based on your needs. Enjoy traveling again with eLuggageShipping.com. Real life, live life, travel easy.
So for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman and Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Okay, welcome back. What I'm really interested in knowing is kind of sort of how are you working through the marketing of your company, right? You know, obviously they're the 800-pound gorillas out there. You got, UPS, you got FedEx, and you have the United States Postal Service, right? And to some degree, you compete with them, and I know that you're carving out a niche, and you probably don't see yourself much as a competitor of those of theirs. But to some degree you do. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what specific markets or categories that you cater to?
Well, let me start off by saying UPS and FedEx, those are actually our vendors. Those are our carriers.
Oh, so you utilize, okay, got it.
We absolutely utilize them.
Okay.
So the same rates you would pay if you were going to a UPS store or a FedEx location, you'll be paying through us if you're going to, for your shipping.
Understood.
What sets us out as a very different player in the marketplace is our packaging solution, the eLuggage shipping bags. Now, the process is you go into our site, you order the bags, you own the bags at that point. They come with a 3-year warranty. Now, you pack the bags as you normally would once you get them home. Yeah, you can pack your luggage and put them into the bag, or you can pack the bag directly with our liners. And you can set the bag to the side after you've created the label and have UPS or FedEx, whichever carrier, pick up the bags and have them on their way. None of our competitors offer such a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What they will do is they will say, hey, listen, we'll send somebody over, we'll pick up your luggage, we'll wrap it up for you, of course, coming at an additional fee, and then get on its way for you. Some of them even have limitations as far as what they'll do for you in terms of tracking. So customer service is lacking in those ends. Again, these are our competitors out there. I feel like we're miles ahead. We just have to get the proper messaging out to people so that they understand just how convenient and just how good this service is, actually.
And I got to tell you, I just learned something. I think that, as I thought that basically you guys were providing the logistics, but basically what you're working through is the infrastructure of an existing carriers, but making it more customer friendly, more customer centric, safer,
Yes.
and more convenient, I guess, is probably the best way to articulate that. Is that fairly accurate?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Again, the convenience factor is pretty awesome. How many lives we can change in terms of people out there who do need our service. Some of them may not even know they need our service.
Mm-hmm.
You got people with physical disabilities or
Oh, absolutely.
senior citizens. Um, all of this takes the bags out of their hands, takes their luggage out of their hands. And how convenient it would be to have your luggage delivered to where you're going ahead of you arriving there and just sitting there waiting for you.
How
That's
many times have you seen an older person or a wheelchair bound person struggling with luggage through an airport or train station or whatever? This takes that completely out of the picture, right?
absolutely,
And it's
absolutely.
there it's there when they get there. Now, I got to ask you this as a golfer, right? Because I'm sorry, I'm already thinking in those in those terms. I don't see a bag that's big enough to put golf clubs in, so I'm concerned. But I will tell you that there's a market for that because as an avid golfers are getting, because it's so expensive now to ship your golf clubs, you're having to make a decision between shipping your golf clubs, put it on an airplane or renting clubs when you get to your destination, right?
Right.
This would wipe that out. You have any plans to develop a bag that would accommodate a set of golf clubs?
Jay, within the 6-month period of the airing of this show, we will have a bag that is just specifically designed for golf clubs. It's something we've been working on for a number of years already, but we had a design. I pulled it back because I want it to be the best, the very best of the best that can be out there in the marketplace. It needs to be very durable. It needs to keep your clubs tight and right so that when you go to play, you have no difficulty. So
I
that
don't, I
is
don't need a $500 driver being broken. You know
not
what I
not,
mean?
not broken and not bent either. So
Yeah.
this is our goal. But within the next 6 months, at the very latest, you will see a golf bag, e-luggage shipping golf bag. So that'll be there for
Hey, you're about to become my new BFF,
you.
Carlton.
All right.
Give me an example of how you had to get through some difficult times and what happened. Give me an example. Sometimes people look at successful folks and they think that, hey, look, it's all been apple pie and s'mores, and we all know that that's not the case. Give me some examples of when things didn't necessarily go right for you and how you motored through that.
Well, right now at the forefront of my thoughts, COVID-19. COVID-19 hit. We were actually getting ready to launch this business. Everything stopped. Our vendors stopped talking to us. Everything that was going on just completely fell apart.
Gotcha.
So that was the most challenging, I think, to date that we've had to deal with. So since then, we've done some modifications. We've even gone through a name change. So from Rego Travel Club, which was our previous name, we're now eLuggageShipping.com. We think that added a lot more clarity to what we do by changing the name. Our product design is even better, sturdier, stronger. Again, it's been a challenging walkthrough to get to this point. And only thing I would certainly say to anybody that's looking to start their own business, do their own business, is be prepared to pat yourself on the back as often as you need to keep yourself going. Because you're not necessarily going to get it from other folks, but you gotta, if it's what you want to build, if it's something you want to do, you really have to make up your mind. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be stoppable.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me some of the projects that you have coming up. You mentioned the golf bag. You have any other projects that you have coming up that you want to talk about? Or is it, without divulging any trade secrets or anything like that, but
I don't feel like any trade secrets will be out there again because of the way our business structure is designed. It's something that even our competitors that are out there right now can't necessarily jump on it and make happen. But we're looking to have laundry stops. So if you take a trip and you say, hey, listen, I'm on my way back home. I've got a bag full of dirty clothes. We're trying to set it up so you can literally ship this directly to a dry cleaners or a laundry stop. Have your items
my
cleaned,
goodness.
pick them up right there in your neighborhood and get ready for your next trip or whatever's coming up behind that. We're also looking to offer storage stops. So your college student, instead of sending everything back home because the semester is over or the school year is over, they can send these items to storage. They pack them into our bags, they go to storage, they sit there until they're ready to come out for the next next school year. So those are two things other than the golf bag that we're working on.
Wow, I think that's huge. I think that's just amazing, and quite frankly, it's keeping yourself on the cutting edge of things. As a person who traveled a lot, I don't anymore. I used to travel a lot, especially before I opened up my own business. I would be gone for 10 days at a time, right? The opportunity to be able to ship back all my dirty shirts and have them ready to go for the next trip would have been absolutely huge. Instead of me, bringing them home and looking at my wife and asking her if she would take it to the cleaning. That absolutely is going to work for the traveler. We're going to take another break. When we come back, Carlton, there are a couple of things I want to talk to you about. I want to talk a little bit about why it's important to invest in small and minority-owned businesses, why that's important. And I want to, kind of hold your feet to the fire too. As successful business people, we have to try really hard to give something back. I want you to tell me kind of sort of, what are you doing in order to kind of give back to our community? Because we both know that's very important. But
absolutely,
we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we'll talk about those things. So, hey, don't get lost. Come right back.
Yes, sir.
Florida. So for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/.
Hey, welcome back. And this is my favorite part of the show, is when I talk to successful business people and I ask them why it's important to kind of give back to companies that look like us. So, with that being said, Carlton, why don't you give me an idea about your thoughts about that, first of all, and perhaps what are you doing as a successful business?
I really believe it's actually critical that we do support other businesses, other minority businesses, Black-owned, of course. It's critical. It really is. The opportunities to excel, as I said earlier, I was able to provide a lot of the financial backing myself for this company to be able to get it thus far.
That's not for the faint of heart, too, brother.
No,
I'm going to tell you that.
that's not. You're absolutely right, sir. I think any opportunity that we can make, we should take to support other Black and minority-owned businesses. Again, it is critical. As long as their product, as long as their service, whatever they're offering is up to par. And the reality is, quite often, we need to do it even better. We need to even be better to be able to get that attention, to get that audience, to get those sales.
I was about to say that. Same thing. We can't be on par.
No.
We have to be Birdie.
So those steps need to be taken, no matter where we're at, where you're at in life. We need to reach out to our own and give those opportunities out. I'm a strong believer. Quite a few of the people that are involved in the circle of this business are minorities as well, Black people, and I think it's important again that we support one another. Because we're not necessarily going to be able to walk to and get that support that's outside of our circle. Or that actually had a couple of incidents or situations where it really started coming together for me. One was on a trip visiting the state of Washington, visiting a family member. Got off my flight, went outside, standing out waiting for the travel vehicle to take me to my hotel. And I'm watching this family. Only a family of four, husband and wife presumably, and two small children. One of the children was literally an infant. and the other probably about 4 or 5 years old. I'm watching them struggle to get their luggage into a Uber. They had done the sensible thing. They ordered an extra large Uber. No matter how they tried, they could not get it to work for them. So they ultimately called a second Uber. Half the load of their luggage was put into the second Uber. Mom with the infant got into one vehicle, and dad with the 5-year-old or so got into the other vehicle.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, this is a perfect opportunity where e-luggage shipping could have been so helpful to these people.
Yeah.
You traveled all these miles to get here, and now you have to separate yourself as a family. And again, this is the why for me. Why I'm in this.
Hey, that is absolutely huge. And I can tell you, I could talk to you for another half an hour, but we're out of time. So thank you very much for what you do. Thank you for taking the time to do this. And thank you for reaching back and doing the things that you do to motivate other businesses that look like us.
Jay, I appreciate
Again, this is the Business of Black Business. My name is Jay Reynolds. Thanks, Legacy Magazine, for all you do, and the team behind the scenes, Rashad, all you guys. Thank you for making this important. Thank you for making this happen. I always say that if it is to be, it's up to me. And this is the Business of Black Business. I'll see you again next time at the same time. Take care. Do something.
Thank you, Jay.